Hey guys, Art 2 here, and wanted to head you up on coming back on Tuesday for that week 14. We're going to be doing sculpture out of found objects. So I think I briefly discussed this with who was in class last, and several of you were not. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'll send an email out too. But if you're seeing this, you don't need the email. Anyway, I'll show you some examples of sculpture out of found objects. What you're going to want to do is prepare and start collecting the items you need to make that sculpture, and then also think about how you're going to put it together, what you're going to use to attach all the parts, whether it be glue gun, or maybe nails and screws or wire. There's all kinds of ways, and you have to start thinking about how you're going to put it together. Um, I don't have, I do have glue gun and some Elmer's glue, but that, no epoxy. If you have nails and screws or wire or epoxy you're going to use, you have to bring that to class for yourself because I don't have it. But I do have glue gun, and now that does work on several things if it's not too heavy. Okay, so let's look at the examples. And also, this should carry some sort of concept, a conceptual sort of take on things. So, plenty of ideas, right? There are several here. This is a good way to do it. But you're going to have sort of a theme or something to it, a meaning, a concept, something that means something to you. Maybe you want to talk about some world event, or something, global warming, racism, socialism, capitalism, all kinds of different things you could talk about. Whatever, something you want to make a statement with your sculpture. And it can be a metaphor. It can be something that your viewer can either get verbatim or what you meant, or you're going to allude to something that they maybe get their own meaning and concept out of it. These are, look at the items here. Just various things around the house. These look like plastic parts to maybe models, or parts to some sort of something or other. And they're putting it together with the color to make Marilyn Monroe. Now, what that actually means to the artist, we don't know, and maybe we aren't told. A lot of art is out there, and they don't tell you what the meaning is necessarily. But maybe you figure it out, or you get your own meaning from it. Some do tell you. Some particular artist is all about racism or something, or they're about um, another issue that means something to them. They're very known for it. So then you start knowing that that's what you're going to expect from their art. Or maybe they go across the board to all kinds of different things. It is possible that they don't want to make a message at all, but they want you to get a message of your own from that. And that's another way to do it. So, typically most people do wonder, what is this little, like this in particular, this little bird on a ball with some symbol here, and he's got a ring here, and this could mean several things. And maybe you're not getting it from the artist necessarily, and you're going to come up with your own idea of what this means, which is all part of it. Or you're going to get something that's very obvious, or you can talk to the artist. We're going to go through these in class, and we'll find out what the concept is. And and go from there. This is pretty cool. Not sure how I guess they nubbed off all these, and that's very hard to do. Actually, I think they're stuck on with the pencils in the back because they're not all straight. Any found object can make a sculpture. It can be big or large. It can be something that's sticking on the side of a building that, is sticking out in a 3D appearance, or bring a 3D shape to it because they've either nailed or screwed or somehow got different parts to make a sculpture on a flat surface so that it does become three-dimensional. All kinds of ways you can do this, but I'd like to have a concept, a meaning, a theme that means something to you. You want to speak out, you want to say something, like I said, global warming or racism or something that you really want to make a statement out. Here's, these get big. They can get really big, and they can hang from the ceiling, and they can be yard art or various things. Bunch of found objects here. Not sure what they actually are. It looks like food in packages. So anything goes with this one, as long as you make a sculpture out of found objects. You can go in here yourself. I put conceptual, go back to my original one, but sculpture out of found objects. This is just a mishmash of stuff. Like mesh, and I can't even tell what a lot of. There's a baby doll. There's all kind of little things in here that are making up this. I see several dolls, actually. Yeah, this is quite a lot of dolls when you really look at it. Look at all the dolls. So that's made out of dolls primarily, with maybe some other content to it. And they're making faces. You don't have to go this, it can be something that sits on the table that I would say, let's make it, at least 1.5 feet, 2 feet in each direction. Okay, here's stuff out of driftwood and shells. And here's a cat out of like forks and just various metal objects. Now, how they put this together without seeing, I think it's wire. You see all the wire in there? And it looks like utensils and other things, other metal pieces, some watches up here. So anything goes, whatever you have, but let's make it epic. This is the whole week, so you could get to work at it at home if you want to bring it to class and take it home, or leave it at class and get more ideas. Look at the records. I particularly like this one. This took a lot of work. This is like glued together or melted together, making a wave shape, like a pipeline wave shape. And it could mean, waves of music, waves of sound, or a particular wave in sound, or this is a take on, I think it's a Japanese print. Yeah, that's the Fuji collection. Which were wood prints. So they've used beads and all kind of little animals in here, all kinds of things. And here's a bunch of people in a boat. So you can look at these or stop the video and look at them more. Go in and find them yourself. Here's Einstein over here, made out of, I think, buttons and little animals. Look at this. So Einstein could mean a multitude of things. Could mean nuclear destruction, since he was the one that hipped everybody to that bomb that we now have in our midst. And all the implications of that. There's a dog made out of several different things. I think you would have to have some sort of core. Maybe it is found objects. Maybe it's a piece of wood in there they're gluing all this to, or screwing it to make something happen. Or maybe because there's a lot of little pieces over something that is a foundation. And there's several like that. Look at this. So you start finding the items that's going to make up this sculpture, and then you have to decide how you're going to put it together. How are you going to attach them to each other? And then it should carry a concept of some sort, or one that you want to the audience to contemplate. You have their own contemplation on your sculpture and get their own ideas of what it means, what the meaning is behind it, what message it might have. Look at all these. So it's kind of endless. In particular, I think it is very endless, because endless things can be used to make these up. Look at the horses coming out of the wall. I actually saw several of these made with just driftwood, different pieces of wood. Yeah, here's a whole wall. Look at this. Okay. Here's a whole wall made out of big things. So they had to deal with the weight and how they're going to attach this to that wall without it all falling down. And there was there might have been wire and things hanging. There might have been rivets or screws used, or maybe some real industrial epoxy that you can stick on there in about 5 minutes. It dries really well, or even silicone could work. But I think you get the idea, okay? Anything can be used. This is the big stuff. I don't expect you to do this. But if you want to get to it in a smaller sense, that's very doable. But the size is up to you. So go in here and get some more ideas of your own. You can go to Google or Bing and find other ideas. I mean, I just kind of went off of the other conceptual art out of found objects here that we were originally in. Look at all these. I mean, it's endless. And some artists just primarily do this only. You know, this is what they do. I think they're really cool. I think they have a lot of meaning. And it's something you created out of found objects that, weren't assembled in this way at all ever before you did it. So it's very creative. It's very fun. And you can get a lot of different meanings out of your work. But have a concept to talk about. Have a meaning or a theme or a message that you want to talk to the class about when you make it, okay? It can be positive, it can be negative, or it can be a little of both. But here's a lot of different ideas. Okay, I think I spent enough time on this. Go ahead and check out all the ideas you possibly can here. The shelf thing is very popular with this, you know, like a picture frame shelf idea with found objects in there. This could be about life and death or something. It's got skeletons and people and something poison, you know. Yeah, so this is going to probably be something around those lines. Or you can have a concept using something that no one's ever going to find out what you really meant, you know. They go elsewhere with it and you go, no, 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 I meant this. Or you can be very explicit and literal, and that's fine too, all right? Okay, so let's leave it at that and prepare to bring this to Tuesday's class on the 29th when we meet again, and maybe be prepared to add to it all week. And then maybe you want to take it home and work on it over the weekend so we can see it the next week after, the following week, and we can talk about the work. And everybody can give their opinion of it maybe before you actually say what the theme and message really is. How about that? And we'll see what everybody's uh, thinking about it, what they're contemplating on that, which is just extensive thought. Okay, very good. Let's talk later. I'll see you in class. But bring stuff to class. And how are you going to attach this stuff if it's not going to be the glue gun? I only have one glue gun, by the way, so we're going to have to share. All right, thank you.